Owen Hargreaves had a great quote on PSR talking about having to sell homegrown talent to meet the financial rules of the Premier League. This is the era of financial football. It's 2025. People are focused on balance sheets and meeting these complex financial rules rather than just growing homegrown talent. Like, what would have happened if we had to sell the class of 92 to make ends meet? It is crazy times in football. I feel like fans who just want to watch the game are now wrapped up in all the financial BS. But Owen Hargreaves made a great point. He said, quote, "Who came up with the PSR rule? I hate it. Selling your academy players for profits. That's not football. Remember the class of 92? Premier League should incentivize clubs for bringing through players from the academy, but they're doing the opposite. I wouldn't like to see Garnacho and Rashford leave Manchester United. I still remember Rashford's debut, and I want to see Garnacho succeed. This is what the club is about. That is what football is about, sir." What do you make of this quote from Owen Hargreaves? I think he is hitting at a key point here. These are academy lads. We're having to cash in on them due to financial regulations.
I think he nails it. I think this probably was one of those things where I'm not sure they intended the consequences that's come out of this rule, but it is not a good thing for the league because it, like you said, incentivizes teams to get rid of players that have come up through their academy who have value and they can sell them, and that matters more than players they bought and then sold. So it's not good for nobody. I think the more you have, regardless if it's Manchester United or other clubs, you want academy players featuring for their team, and I think that's good for the league. I think it just adds a fun element that you just don't see in other sports that you see in football. Like other sports, they're not 6-year-olds and 8-year-olds joining clubs that eventually may play for the first team, and that's an amazing concept, and we should cherish that and probably protect it. So the FA, they're slow moving. I think the FA is very, very incompetent. They've shown that. They've gotten worse. They've allowed the VAR creep, and it's like I don't think they have the foresight to be able to step back and be like, this is fucking up the league. We should change this, because this is the same people that are not going to punish Man City, by the way. They're not going to get nothing. They're going to walk away clean and free. If they were smart, they'd be changing this this summer, because they know this isn't good for the game. This is not good for United, Chelsea, Spurs, any team that has to sell players just to make PSR rules. It's not good.
Well, Chelsea's selling the hotel attached to the team to another entity.
Call that
it was a related party transfers, qualifying for It seems
fraud
to me like this era of football, these rules were put in place to help the sustainability of these clubs, and something seems broken, right? Because obviously we saw the clubs that went bankrupt in the early 2000s, and they put these rules in place later on to fix this issue. But right now I feel like it's kind of bubbling up to the top with the points deductions, and they appeal the points deductions, then the city ruling. I think there is a before and after here, and I think the city ruling is the before and after, right? Whatever they decide to do with Man City is going to have ripple effects through kind of the future of football. And there's two worlds that we can live in, which is one, city's relegated and the rules matter, right? And then we're seeing a lot of parity in the league, right?
We are.
So that's a positive.
Best league in the world.
If you take City out of the equation, if you actually punish them, and then everyone has to follow these rules, you are going to see a positive thing. So in certain ways, I can disagree with Owen Hargreaves, because I actually think these rules have helped the sustainability of football. Manchester United is broke because of the owners, right? We have $1 billion in debt because our owners suck.
Yeah.
The reason why we should be the richest team and being able to buy all these players, and we have the most revenue and the highest turnover in all of English football, so that should give us the greatest advantage under these rules. But actually, our owners are so incompetent, we're actually disadvantaged. So I like the way they're written from a Manchester United perspective, sans the Glazer issue, and that will be solved at some point. It has to be, but I just think that they have to charge City, and then everyone needs to basically comply with these rules, and over time that'll create sustainability and parity in English football, which it definitely needs. Now the Super League's kind of lurking over there as well, and that's coming. The Super League's coming. All these, I just hope the Premier League can stay together, band together, and somehow figure out some sort of NFL light, where they maybe add an extra game, play it overseas, make more money. Then they have the sustainability. There's more parity. I just want parity, right? And I think we do have that. sans the cities of the world over the last decade.
Yeah, you definitely have in the EPL. I mean, I don't think you have it as much in the other leagues because they're so dominated by a couple clubs in Spain, right? Couple clubs, handful of clubs in Italy, one club in Germany. And at the end of the day, EPL is the best league in the world, but it's not sustainable because 19 of the 20 clubs last year lost money, except for one, which is West Ham. They made from their subsidized stadium.
Well, that's like they lose money, but they're cash flow positive, right? So there's a big difference between some English journal saying they all lost money. Well, that's net income, but everything on cash flow basis is a completely different story.
But the actual nature of the business, they're not doing great, sir, and they're not growing revenue as fast as they should be,
sir. It's all about the cash, sir. It's all about
bucks, kid. The rest is conversation.
Cash flow.
I get it, but they're not making big money. These teams are not making. Okay, they're not making a profit, but they're not making huge amounts of cash flow, sir. Even United, even Chelsea, City is because they break the rules. But the point I'm trying to get at is the TV rights haven't grown fast enough. They haven't expanded the game internationally fast enough. They haven't grown ticket prices fast enough. There's just not enough cash going to these clubs, given how much money they're spending on players and salaries.
Yeah,
and
but all the contracts is depreciation, right? So it's literally.
I'm not trying to get into the accounting. I'm just trying to make a point.
But getting into the accounting, you never want to turn a profit in football. So it's kind of it's a little shocked. You're right. But it is a little shock jock kind of people talking about.
I know
that's
in English. I meant more in the sense the revenues have not grown enough because they are leaving cash on the table, and I don't want it to be the Super League, but there is money in those hills, and I hate to say it, it's
no, there's a billion. There's
billions,
a billion.
Billions.
If United were to bind together with leave the Premier League or leave UEFA, and there would be $1 billion a year waiting for them, and so the incentive is there. It's going to so. This is a great quote by Owen Hargreaves. Football is in transition. Something will happen. The shoe will drop. We don't know what it is. I mean, we have the Club World Cup this summer. There's lots of things changing. I do think England overall, from a parity perspective, is exciting.
It is.
And I just want the EPL and the football pyramid in England, which has made it so great, to kind of stay as is. And then UEFA and Europa League and Conference League, I'd care less about that because that's just kind of getting a little crazy. And if Super League comes in and compete with that, I don't know. But I just have to.
I don't want to touch the EPL. I don't want to touch the football pyramid. It's just I don't think UEFA shares the pot enough, and I don't think FIFA should be giving club teams money too. They should just be sharing the money more. And these organizations are so corrupt, and they steal so much money. And like you said, there's money on the sidelines as well. So there can be the best of both worlds. Because look at the game the other day, right? We were watching the Southampton game. Sulemana, a player on the 20th place team in the EPL, is cooking Euro. It's just that doesn't exist in these lower, that doesn't exist in Spain. There's not a world beater, future world beater on the 20th place team in the Liga because the squads are worth hundreds of $1 million because it takes so much to get out of the championship in the first place and stay in the EPL in the second place. So it's the best league in the world, but at what cost, right?
Let us know what you think in the comments below. Where's football headed? Are we in trouble? Is PSR just a folly to help us sell our youth team, or are the Glazers to blame? Let us know what you think in below. Please smash the like and subscribe button. It helps other Muppets like yourself find the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.